think everybody knows that AI is the buzz, and AI is the most abused word at this point of time, because AI is everywhere, and similar to what digital transformation used to be at some point of time back, right? Uh, but I think the AI is trying to kind of change the way the world operates today, because everybody wants to embark on that journey and then gain advantage out of it, right? In 2025, from an enterprise perspective, there are two things, right? First and foremost, the way the applications are being consumed, right? Today, if you look like most of them, either being internal, external, it's all through the digital means. Second thing is the way these applications are delivered, right? It's all across, multiple environments, multi-architecture modes, and at the same time, trying to bring in the leverage of what's new and how people can bring in productivity out of it, right? Applications are deployed to containers, Kubernetes, and whole bunch of ecosystems, right? But with these applications, if they are done in the right way of automation, you will enable with outcome which is nothing but the good quality, which will enable the business to gain advantage out of it, right? But at the same time, if there are not done with the right set of automation process and systems involved into it, and that's where the business will take a hit and look at all the challenges associated with that. Let's look at the landscape currently as we speak, right? I mean, there are, huge amount of desire the way AI will reshape the world, the application is being developed, and at the same time, look at some of the barriers that's being kind of coming into the play, right? If you look like more than 97% of the respondents say that they have started using AI to build code, right, using the all the tools that are enabled, right? Look at the GitHub statement. But at the same time, what Gartner is saying based on the search and the research that they said, at least 30% of the projects will be abandoned because of the lack of clarity in the way that they are embarking the journey and the use cases that are coming across into it, right? Generative AI projects fail amid high tech cost and risk because the simple factor is there is no clarity in the way in which the entire journey will be embarked and what challenges they will encounter as they start moving into it, right? Again, organizations are not very clear in terms of the use cases that they will adopt. At a high level, the buzzword is, yes, we would want to adopt, but then the way they will adopt and how they will materialize in terms of the outcomes is still becoming a challenge. If you look at in organizations, there are continued and rapid adoption of the AI, either with the knowledge or without the knowledge, right? But then the expectation is that it will bring in huge amount of productivity compared to what they had envisaged earlier before. But from a barrier perspective, there is bound to be high initial costs without how and what kind of an ROI that they will be able to bring, as the delivery process also have a lot more bottlenecks because the key concerns from the way it will be delivered via quality, security, and the compliance that are required, especially in the very high regulated industries like manufacturing or a healthcare or banking and financial services kind of a market. Some of the common software delivery challenges that we have seen with the GCCs or some of the SIs operating the GCCs we have come across, right? The first and foremost is due to the nature of their operating model, right? Scale and complexity is a bigger challenge because they are largely distributed, they're spread across different locations, they have different portfolios, projects running across multiple architecture, and the way the entire security and the operations is kind of being managed. Second thing is managing the legacy and the modernization, which is balancing the existing landscape, what they have, and then trying to bridge the gap with the new age delivery that's coming into place, right? At the same time, trying to bring in all essential parameters to kind of reduce the technical debt to a larger part of it, right? The third and important thing is in terms of how do they bring in cost effectiveness, right? Look at the ROIs, right? So any time that they need to go and look for an investment in terms of automation, the first question is what's the ROI that's going to come out of it, right? So there is a need for demonstrating clear ROI when somebody wants to adopt an agile process or a DevSecOps process or any kind of an automation framework that needs to empower and enable them for them to deliver seamless solutions. Now, even before jumping into it, address how we address all of these challenges, right? We pretty much have ways and means to kind of address all these challenges from a solutioning perspective, right? But then I want to take a step back and then say that, we are here to kind of help you to transform the way that you wanted to kind of, accelerate and improve your overall software delivery workflows is concerned, right? This is irrespective of wherever you are in your maturity model, right? It could be in the early phase of your disparate toolchain process, or if you're in the early stage of, bringing in automation and some kind of an analytics and intelligence into place, or you want to really scale up and then go into the what we call it as the complete maturity model or the value stream intelligence, predominantly focusing more on the outcome aspects of the software delivery rather than the output is concerned, right? We pretty much have organizations embarked on this journey along with us, and we have seen, good amount of outcome out of this. Now, this is what we bring on the table from Digital.ai, enabling and empowering organizations to automate the entire software delivery lifecycle, right? We have one single platform, right from planning to production, enabling you with each and every aspects of the release, deploy, testing, mobile, and even in terms of the intelligence and analytics are concerned. We live in a world where today the number of mobile applications is more than the number of mobiles that are sold in the market, right? So we live in a what we call as the mobile first world, right? We are the only organization where we offer, to help you to test these mobile applications which are secured, right? And we also enable you to secure these applications with application hardening and code obfuscation, and also look at the ways in terms of, these applications are continuously monitored for any kind of threat from emerging from a potential reverse engineering or a hacking, so that, the application is completely secured as you deploy and continue to work with the end users while protecting all their sensitive personal information are concerned. The third part is we bring in what we call it as the built-in AI and analytics with each of these layers that I talked about, right, from planning, testing, application security, and the DevOps, right? Each of them come with their own personas in terms of the analytical layers, which will enable you to drive a lot more predictive insights based on the existing tool landscape, and also integrating with the out-of-the-box with our solution, so that, you'll be able to churn these with the AI ML algorithms, which will enable to give you with a lot more insights, which will empower you to take, lot more informed decisions very early in the life cycle. That way, the TCO of the overall aspects from a software delivery can be, much more advantage for you. Just want to share, what is the evolution of Digital.ai. I know most of them would be hearing for the first time, or some of you would have heard, right? This is the genesis of, 5 founding members coming together and forming what we call it as the software delivery platform for the enterprise, right? You could see at the bottom of the erstwhile organization's name, right? Some of you must be familiar with CollabNet version 1, which is more to do with the planning and planning related aspects from a solutioning perspective. Whether somebody wants to do your sprint backlog or product backlog, or get your entire product 360-degree ownership view in terms of how the overall planning is done, right? You might have heard about tools like Jira. So we integrate out of the box with Jira, trying to bring in a lot more intelligence information from that and help you to kind of, coexist along with that. The second one is on the software configuration management. This is again the same organization. The solution name is called TeamForge. The third pillar is on the application protection. This is what I was talking about in terms of, how we enable organizations to kind of, embed the security at the code level, what we call it as the shift left from application security standpoint, and enable to kind of, help with all those aspects of it. The next one is on continuous testing. This is again an offering which will enable you to help you to test your mobile applications, whether it is functional, performance, or manual, or an automation capabilities are concerned, right? And this, along with the application security, it will help you to bring in the completeness in terms of the way that you deliver these mobile applications. The last part on this is the release and deploy. This comes from an organization called as ZBR Labs. All of them are industry leaders in their own space with, place in the Gartner and Forrester's Magic Quadrants, with a lot more, global customers aligning to. This is a snapshot of, what we have done for the enterprises and how they have embarked along with us in terms of, being able to deliver quality solutions, at the same time, bringing in more value for both the internal and the external stakeholders, right? You look at some of the top banks in the US, top banks in the Europe, right? Some of the top gaming companies across the globe, both US and Japan, some of the top insurance companies, right? Some of the top US airlines and automotive organizations. And our solution is also completely, certified for the FedRAMP. So we have a lot of, government agencies and federal customers who are adopted successfully in terms of deriving the outcome.